So I played a bit more not recording, and I now believe I have completely finished the story, and now it's on to the actual endgame, which I have no idea how the endgame really works. I know it's something to do with monoliths, but I'm not really sure how. I also have these two dungeon keys, or I believe they're dungeon keys. Yeah, dungeon keys to the Temporal Sanctum. So I will be trying one of those this episode as well. The build hasn't really changed a whole lot. My weapon is still awful. Could do with increasing that. A lot of my gear is pretty awful, actually, looking at it, to be honest. And I need more idols. A lot of these idols are pretty trash as well. They're just kind of like, okay. This is the only idol I have, really, which is really good. I think this one's okay as well. It's just a bunch of health. Anyway, so time to check out the early part of the end game, if that makes any sense. So this reminds me of the Synthesis Memory Nexus from PoE, if anyone knows that, to some extent, but I don't think you get to build it yourself. I think you just get to choose where you go. There's different rewards. I think I'm going to try to this one, so let's see what this is like. Level 58. This adds stability. Fools. Okay, so I quickly completed that, and it's took me to this area. This is where I claim my rewards, it says. Something like this would probably give me such a huge damage increase. I'm actually curious. It's not too bad, honestly. I might just try keeping this for now. Maybe I can craft something on it as well. There's 29 forging potential. That's the highest I've seen, I think, so far. I'm just going to try and upgrade this sword a bit. This might be a mistake, but I'm just going to see what I can get on it. The suffixes seem pretty awful, to be honest, but the prefixes are pretty good for me, I think. So I'm just going to upgrade this a bit, and I'm going to use this as a starter sword. Only -3 forging potential, not bad. -2. Wow, this could be really good. Ooh, -10, okay. Big upgrade though. And maybe some of the fire damage. So now, I was 2,300 tooltip DPS with it before. Now, 2,700. Honestly, I thought it would be a bigger increase than that. Not bad though, not bad at all. Pretty sure the amulet I have is one of the first amulets I picked up throughout the entire game. So I should definitely try and craft something better real quick. This one's a better base, but this one has a bunch more forging potential, so I guess this one's probably better to try. What can I go for? My crit chance isn't really high enough to justify going for crit strike multiplier, I feel. Suppose for prefixes, I either go for fire damage or elemental damage. I imagine fire damage will have higher rolls, otherwise why would you use it? But I do have more shards for elemental damage, but I'm gonna try some fire damage. Let's just see. 11%. Let's go for one more. Pretty low. Pretty low rolls. Let's go for some crit chance. I think with this sword, this gives a lot of melee critical strike multiplier, so getting some extra crit chance will probably be good. Okay. Not amazing, but it should increase my damage quite a bit. I'll lose a bit of health, a slight bit of, yeah, 6% crit chance I lose. 6% increase crit chance. So 2,766, 3,040. That was actually a pretty big upgrade, damage-wise. A lot of my gear is awful. Like, look at this belt. This is horrible. I need to find something better than that. So what I can do is actually Rune of Shattering this. This thing is, you know, it's not good, it's awful, but I can get a random number of affix shards containing its powers. So let's see what I get. So this, I used 2 melee fire damage shards and 1 fire damage shard. Let's see. 2 shards, 2 fire damage shards I got back. Okay, not bad. Okay, and so the, whatever this is, monolith, or something like that, I don't know, has opened up more and expanded and given me more choices of where to go. I think I'm gonna go for this one. I want to see what the Tomes of Experience is like. I want to see if it's a set amount of experience, or if it's an experience increase for mobs you kill, or something like that. My damage doesn't... Ooh. Oh, wow. That seems really good. I think I'll get rid of this ring. This one gives more defenses and stuff, so I think I'm going to get rid of this one, even though it should increase my damage a decent amount. Pretty big damage decrease. But then I put this on. 4,000 DPS now. Huge damage increase. And this can also synergize with my... I should also probably change my tree around, to be honest. I need to respect this point over here, but for now this will be fine. I was going to spec into these melee damage versus ignited enemies. This will synergize really well with this, actually, so I think I definitely should do this. And this also specifically has a synergy with Flame Reef, huh? Hits enemies in an expanding circle around you. Oh, wow, yeah, that's a lot better. Wow, that was such a great unique to get. It seems like you have to kill a certain amount of enemies, and then it shows you where the final, like, fight will be. It doesn't seem like there's a boss like there is in PoE on every map. There's just kind of, or at least the first one I did, we just had a few rare enemies and like a bunch of normal enemies. I don't think it had a boss, I'm pretty sure it didn't. Oh no, this one does have a boss actually. Seems very weak, but... Oh, here we go. 2 actual bosses. Okay. They're kind of getting one shot. I do a lot more damage now, surprisingly. So it looks like that's the core gameplay loop of at least the early endgame. I'm not entirely sure. I can't speak on anything else except for the very, very early endgame. And you come to this, you kill a few mobs, it tells you where to locate the seal. You go to the seal, you fight a few mobs, a few bosses, and then it takes you here for the rewards you chose. Okay, so it just gives you a bunch of flat experience. But that is not the entire endgame mechanic by the look of it. There are quest unlocks by the look of it. When you build up stability, I suppose they will have special rewards or something like that. I think that now I'm just going to focus mainly on experience. The campaign in this game didn't feel that tedious either. And it's my first time doing it, which is normally fine anyway, but it didn't feel as long as some of the other games, some of the other ARPGs. It seems like that they allow you to open up into the endgame and just get into the core part. Wow. I guess it depends what you like, but I generally prefer the AoE. The endgame in ARPGs a lot more. That's when build diversity really opens up and you get to actually test your character with some of the difficult content. Oh, this is a different area. Defeat all 13 waves of enemies rather than just the seal. That's actually really interesting. I'm really glad there's different encounters. It's not just the seal one. The experience I'm gaining from this is actually huge as well compared to what I was getting at the end of the campaign. My XP bar is just flying up. It was not going up anywhere close to this fast during the story. Okay, great, another one done. So another thing to note is these modifiers seem to be stacking up and increasing in power the further I'm going. So I'd imagine the further you get into the monolith or whatever this is, whatever this thing is here, you'll get better rewards, but it will be more dangerous because you'll be stacking enemy modifiers as well, or stronger modifiers maybe. After the next one, I'll have unlocked the quest echo at 50 stability. Look here as well. All modifiers last for 3 echoes, so yeah, you really do start stacking them up by the look of it. I think I want to go for this one, which reveals all nearby echoes. That was interesting. Again, that one didn't have a boss. This one doesn't have any modifiers on it or anything. I assume this one might be a different... Okay, I unlocked the quest now as well. So I'm now available to do this quest. I'm not entirely sure what this means. I assume I'll just enter it and let's have a look. So again, this one has different things to do. I just have to investigate the outcast camp for now. I imagine this one would almost certainly have a boss fight, or like a difficult encounter at least. Defeat the necromancers powering the barricade, okay. Oh, they are. I thought they would be bosses, they are not very strong. Well, this many enemies really is giving me a performance hit. Damage check. Okay. Not as hard as I thought it'd be, but I couldn't really see all the numbers. There were a bit too many enemies to see the numbers well. Hopefully there will be a big boss so I actually get to test my damage properly. Alright, my damage is pretty good now. Alright, let's see the rewards for this one. Okay, what we're gonna get from this chest. Nothing amazing, just a few runes and shards. Right, now I'll do the one that reveals all nearby echoes. So in this echo, I need to charge the beacon. Remain in the circle. Ultimatum flashback. So this just charges over time, so what if I just don't kill these enemies? I guess I just run the risk of dying? Do they just keep spawning? I don't know. They kind of stop spawning by the look of it. I assume from this I don't really get any rewards, I just get this. It looks like you get this chest every time. It doesn't seem to have amazing loot though. Okay, wow, yeah, that really opened up the map a bit. So is this infinite? No. It's pretty bloody big though. I suppose you'll get a new monolith after this, after you can beat the stability thing and all of the quest echoes. I think I'm gonna go here, get this arena key, and then see what that's about. Ooh, one-handed sword, could be good. Not great. Yeah, not great at all. Looks cool though, at the very least. I'm wondering if I should look for some sort of loot filter for this game, to be honest. I'm not sure if they exist. The base game doesn't seem to be too bad. It's not as bad as PoE at least. Not as many trash items drop. An arena key opens the portal to the endless arena in the end of time. Okay, interesting. I guess that's a wave-based, like, infinite survival kind of thing. Not sure, but that would be cool if it was. Enemies have a 25% chance to apply Mark for Death on hit. Mark for Death reduces all resistances by 25%. Oh, rewards can only be claimed if you do not die in this echo. That's interesting. Is that like that for every echo? It looks like it. I'm glad there are bigger punishments for death than, like, something in, like, PoE, for example, where it's fine as long as you don't die more than 6 times, right, on most things. You just lose XP, but until you're very high level, that's not really that big of a deal. Being mainly a PoE player when it comes to RPGs nowadays, myself, this game is definitely a breath of fresh air, to be honest. A lot of the issues I have with PoE, completely solves, to be honest. Not that PoE is a bad game, I still really love PoE, it's still one of my favorite games of all time, but this game definitely has some interesting things and differences from PoE. I believe PoE could learn a few things off of this game as well. This one again has another unique objective: slay both patrolling profane fleshes. Guess they're like 2 bobs or special mobs or something. Bosses, I think I said bobs. Oh yeah, it's these thick boys that do not take much damage. One thing I really like about this game is the class design. The class design is really great, I think. I really enjoyed the archetypes and the ways that they've chosen to create the classes. Don't even remember the rewards for this one. Were they idols? No. Rare body armor by the look of it. That's quite interesting, that. I think I might Rune of Shattering that or whatever. I want to try and get the chance to cast Fire Aura on Critical Strike. Okay, there's 2. I guess I'll check both of them. The Unique Scepter. Actually fantastic for lightning spell-based builds. Unfortunately not for me, but right, let's Rune of Shattering both of these, see if I can get any of these. I assume there's a shard for this, yeah. No, I got a bunch of the other stuff, but not the thing I wanted. Again, I have a ton of Rune of Shatterings, I believe. Not a ton, I have 22 currently. 21, but I did get 2 chances for that. Okay, great. Can you can put these in here. Oh, you can't forge uniques, right, okay, you can just put it in. It's actually a pretty big amount of health, 57. I was going to sell that, but maybe I will keep it. I want some of the idols, so let's try the idols. I should probably stop picking up every single idol that drops as well now, to be honest. I've got quite a collection of trash ones. I should probably look at them and I can hopefully figure out what's kind of decent. I do kind of miss having the other unique body armor on, to be honest. The ward regen was really nice. Purple? What is that? Oh, wow. I don't know. I've never seen a purple before. Level 60, great. The unfortunate part about much of these idols for the mages, they double if you have over 300 or max mana. I'm not sure if it's always 300, but this one obviously specifically is. I'm not sure if I can reach 300 mana with a Spellblade. I believe a Sorcerer, like mana stacking, is a pretty big part of it. I can put points into Sorcerer up to this locked bit. Maybe I can, there's quite a bit of mana here, so this is what? 32... That's 62. 62 additional mana. Another wand, level 5. Well, maybe if I level a acolyte. Right, so what's with this item I got? So it's purple, so it's a special... That one suffix is a special suffix, I guess. Can I Rune of Shattering it? No. It's tier 6. Can't upgrade it at all, which I guess means... Oh, so I guess it comes with one affix that is like max tier, and it has a bunch of forging potential on it. That's probably pretty good. Well, not this one specifically, but imagine if you could get something really nice with a tier 6 mod that you do want. I think I'm gonna go for these affix shards, because then I can get to the rare swords. Or I could go for the arena key and rare swords. Actually, I might do that instead. Oh wow. Slay enemies to locate Spymaster Xeric. Slay Spymaster Xeric. Xeric was someone in the campaign, but I believe he was an ally. But I suppose, to an extent, it looks like these monoliths are built on like alternate timeline things, or at least the quest echo said something like that, so maybe that's what's happening. Okay, that is not what I remember him looking like. Easy enough. Another arena key, and a few shards. I saw there was actually an interesting base. There is a ice spear or something, which comes with default cold damage on the weapon. Oh, exalted helmets here. I wonder if that's what this purple item is. I wonder if it's an exalted item. It doesn't say anything about it. These modifiers are really starting to stack up on the right side though now. I suppose what you could do is if you're having difficulty with it, you could go back to the lower tier like echoes with the lower like tier modifiers that are less dangerous and don't last as long, and you could run some of those and then go back to the higher tier stuff without with less modifiers. It looks like it would reduce your rewards though, so I suppose it's risk reward, which, you know, pretty great. I assume that's how it works anyway. Oh wow, 2 more purple items? Maybe these can only just drop in like the monolith or something, because I've never found a single one of these and I found 3. Melee void damage, bit useless but I'll take it. Increased necrotic damage, wow that's pretty big. 80% from 1 ring slot seems pretty big. These sword rewards were all awful. So an interesting thing to bear in mind is I only get the reward if I don't die, so maybe this is a more difficult echo, seeing as it has probably a higher tier reward than other things. I can also do this other quest echo when I want, but for now I'm going to do the exalted helmets. Oh, it's a 15 wave one. Okay. My build seems to go really well in versus enemies that have a lot of smaller enemies. I get huge amounts of ward from my ward gain on hit, and my AoE is pretty great. Well, not great, but all my damage is AoE basically is what I mean. Wave 14, almost done. 15, is this going to be a boss wave or something? Doesn't look like it. Okay, no, it wasn't really that difficult. No bosses or anything. Ooh, okay, right. So they are exalted items. Huge fire resistance, increased melee elemental damage. That seems like a pretty good helmet for me. Huge physical resistance. Increased critical strike chance. Not bad either. 20 ward per second is okay, but that seems pretty low for an exalted affix, I'd imagine. Plus 11 intelligence, that seems pretty good. And plus 11 vitality. So my current helmet is pretty awful, so I think it's probably going to be one of these that I equip. Although the thing is, the other affixes are pretty terrible, to be honest. This one isn't awful. Plus it has 40 forging potential, so I could bump these other things up a few tiers. The thing is, what's my fire resistance? My fire resistance is already overcapped anyway, so I can't really justify using that one, I don't think. This would cap my physical resistance, and I don't really lose too much. I lose a little bit of intelligence, which intelligence scares my build a little bit. I think that's probably a worth trade-off, to be honest. Aside from that, I might Rune of Shattering this one, try and get some intelligence shards. I should start using glyphs as well. I didn't realize that these were this strong, and I have 82 of them. I think I'm gonna Rune of Shattering this and just see what I get. 2 vitality shards, health regen per second, intelligence. Okay, really. Thought it'd be better than that, if I'm being completely honest. That might have been a mistake. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, but oh well. I did actually get this idol from the previous reward, which that will be a huge damage increase. But the thing I need to decide is if I actually want to use that, because I'll have to completely change around my idols. Although my idols are not good at the moment, I'm just kind of using whatever filler I had. Okay, that's a pretty interesting shield. It has no level requirement though, so I imagine it's pretty weak for endgame. But maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm not going to use it for this character, but maybe if I play something that's block-based, like maybe I'll make a sentinel or something like that. I imagine you can use block with like almost anything, but it probably has the most synergy with stuff like sentinel, if I were to guess. Also not entirely sure how blocking actually works in this game. I know the block effectiveness has something to do with it, but I'd probably want to research how that works before I use it myself, aside from just like chucking it on anyway, using it as like an actual proper mechanic. I imagine it's not really that complex, to be honest, but more unique gloves. It's always really nice getting a unique drop, even when the majority of them haven't been very useful for me so far. Yeah. Like that. Defeat the Imperial Commander. Okay, actual boss fight. Time to oh. Yeah, not really much of a boss fight, huh? I forgot my boots are still these uniques. I really should have... Like, I almost started the game with these boots. I imagine these are quite a lot better. I think I'll be equipping those. 2 vitality and 31 health. I can increase the affix levels if I want. Ah, loot filter basics. I just got a tip. You hold shift and you press F and then it brings up this. You can import a filter and stuff. Okay, yeah, that's quite interesting. That probably takes quite a while to make yourself, so I'll probably look at getting one for the next episode. The game doesn't seem to... I don't think it really needs one. It's nothing like PoE where you like need one late game, but two-handed spear? Okay, well that will probably be interesting for whatever class Javelin's for. Sentinel, I guess? Don't know. Maybe Primalist? I'm not sure. I believe this one had gold as the reward, so I'm just curious. I currently have 218,000 gold. It's runes. Never mind. Yeah, this is definitely the one with the gold. So this time, 222k. Only 6k gold, really? I thought it was going to be a lot more than that, I'm not going to lie. So gold kind of sucks as a reward by the look of it. Now I can move over and complete the final quest echo. This is the final quest echo, so I'm curious to see what kind of rewards this has. It's probably also a pretty interesting scenario, I'd imagine. Or is it just a boss fight, maybe? Okay. Well, that's a big boy. Oh, invulnerable until soul vessels are destroyed. And down he goes. Well, he dropped a bunch of shards and the glyphs. Body armor, woven flesh. Doesn't seem that great, to be honest. Oh, so I get to choose what level timeline I want to unlock? That's interesting. I think I'm going to go for the level 66 one. Even though I'm level 62 myself, I'll just be able to farm smaller ones if I want to. Choose a reward. Permanent global modifier. This can be replaced by completing this timeline again. Wow, that is interesting. Adorned idol? What's adorned idol? Oh, just a specific type of idol, I guess. I think I'm just going to go with the increased unique drop rate for now. Oh, so it actually keeps the same, like, monolith thing? That's kind of weird. That's not how I'd expect that to work, to be honest. Anyway, that's been my first impressions of the beginning of the end game in Last Epoch. If you have any feedback or suggestions, I'd love to hear in the comments. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. If not, dislike will do. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a good day.